Black Power, greetings. Guess who's back? I'm just now getting a phone, so all the texts and messages you have sent me prior to about an hour ago, from October 6th until about an hour ago, they're pretty much gone at this point. My phone has been in the possession of the Inglewood police, maybe even the Inglewood city attorney and other agencies, but they're claiming they're holding that as evidence. So I very likely may not get any of those messages, but go ahead and you could send them to me now. My phone, I haven't been able to go through the emails, just now barely opening Facebook, so I haven't gone through any of those messages. But most definitely thanking everyone who's been supporting in the many different ways. My family, my mom, my wife, the children. Comrade Kevin, came to the jail that second day. Elder Comrade Harold came to jail that Monday. All the comrades who came to court, Kevin, Harold, Dino, his queen, my aunt, Tiffany, David Dane, big ups to all of you. Appreciate all of you. Everyone else who's been, getting the word out, building support on my behalf. But as of now, it's not over. They are wanting me to do 90 days behind this. I have to go back to court on November 27th. But basically, October 6th, after we left Hubert's that night, I got in a car with 3 other comrades. After we dropped one brother off, we were over in Inglewood. We were driving on Centinela. We were headed west. Saw Inglewood police come in the opposite direction, headed east, made eye contact. We saw that look of excitement in the police eyes, so we knew, they were going to come after us. They went about a block, busted a U. I was receiving a call, so I went ahead, tried to message that person, let them know we were getting pulled over, so that limited me from doing other things. But they initially were saying they stopped us because of tinted windows. Then they ran the driver's license, found his license was suspended, so they pulled all of us out of the car. They found my bag, searched it, found the gun. I claimed it immediately so the other brothers wouldn't, be held accountable for it. They put me into the back of the car. Ended up towing the brother's car. I went to the Inglewood police station that night, a little bit after midnight. So it was actually, Saturday, October 7th. But I stayed there from then until Wednesday morning. I believe it was October 11th when I went to court. But at the police station, I did notice the jailers. It was a completely different environment from the last couple times I went. Almost like hotel service up in there. The food was a lot better, with the exception of the meat. Only at one point they had put a brother 5150 in the cell with me. But, after we had a conversation, things kind of worked out. It was another young brother who I'm going to have to look out for. He's battling his duality, but hopefully after he gets released this time, we can embrace him and help him move forward. But at one point, the Inglewood police detective came and talked to me, a detective Chatham, and he actually lowered the possession of a loaded weapon charge from a felony to a misdemeanor. So I'm grateful for that, because I'll possibly be looking at more time at this point. But I was sent to the Inglewood courthouse Wednesday morning. I went before a judge, Michelle An, happens to be a Korean American. And, also I'm grateful that she released me on OR, because at that point my only request was that I got to see my family. They were saying they want me to do 90 days. The prosecutor, however, she's a malicious disservice to justice. She was trying to build a case as though I had the gun, to go out and rob folks. They found gloves. They found a covering that I used for my head. Is actually a sleeve that I cut out from my t-shirt. Made my t-shirt into a tank top, but I saved the sleeve to cover my head. When it's cold, I put that covering, I wear it under my hat, so my head won't be cold. But she was trying to say it was a mask, even though it had no openings for an eye. Trying to say, I had the gloves, insinuating, I was up to no good. Said, we were stopped in an area of high crime and burglary. She read, my report or my file of previous cases, most of which have been dismissed, DA rejects. But she was bringing up fabricated charges that police and deputies wrote in initially that got dismissed and rejected. But she was trying her best to really build me up as a rogue individual, but thanks to comrades who came to court, again, Kevin, Elder Comrade Harold, Tiffany, David Dang, Dino, his Queen Ma'at, speaking to the judge, letting them know the type of work that I do. The judge did take that into consideration and release me on OR. So at this point, I have to return on November 27th. Again, at that point, they wanted me to do 90 days. They were saying possibly the prosecutor now may request that I do more, since I didn't go ahead and plead guilty at that point. So I am seeking legal counsel, contemplating if I'm going to represent myself. Right now, an attorney has quoted me $4,000. One brother, I ran into another sister today that I'm familiar with. She's going to look into the case, but I will be needing support as far as that over the next few weeks. But in the meantime, I will be continuing moving forward with the work we are doing. I was saying they just so happened to place me in front of a Korean American judge, so whether or not that has anything to do with the work we've been doing. But at this point, the work will have to continue, because it's not about, what happens with us as individuals, but it's about making sure what is in our collective best interest is accomplished. So if I am to do 90 or more days, what I ask is that you all stay out of these Korean stores and other shady businesses for 90 plus days. And for some of you, that's going to be a challenge, because that time period will include, what a lot of you celebrate is Christmas, during the winter solstice. So that's going to include the swap meet and other areas. But between now and then, we're going to try to build this movement up, so y'all will have support to stay up out of there. But I'm grateful for those of you who have continued, out here fighting over the past week and a half that I have been away. I was released last Wednesday, but I did take the past few days off to go visit my family before facing whatever the outcome of this is going to be. Other folks, I've seen other white cats get similar charges and just pay a fine and be on probation. But again, this exposes the double standard at which we as black people still held. You consider the crazy woman who killed Latasha Harlins, she received community service after actually killing someone. But again, they want me to go sit in the county for a few months. But all of this we will use in our case, because again, like George Jackson pointed out, is not to make ourselves as victim or to seek pity or folks to feel sorry for us. I intentionally bought and registered that gun because of attempts that have been made on my life. Doing this work makes us even more targets, in addition to the rate at which black men are just being killed already. But assassination attempt has been made on my life. Last year, people broke into our home and ransacked it. About a month ago, I pointed out on social media how one of my relatives found a white person attempting to break into their home. So, you know, the threat risk, the danger we face is real. So that is why, you know, I possess the weapon. And that the law says, you know, we can have a weapon, but we can't have it loaded is craziness. You know, they basically playing us as though someone drives up and ready to kill us. You know, we gonna say, hold up a minute, let me get my clip out and load my shit and cock it and get ready to fight back for someone actually tries to kill you. But we know that's not the case. So that was the only disturbing thing that Judge An did say, something to the fact that she didn't want to hear any excuses that, you know, people trying to kill me or whatever as to why I have a weapon, because at this point she's telling me I cannot possess any weapons, and part of the deal they presented me with is that that will be the case for the next 3 years. They basically want me to be out here disarmed and vulnerable, which, you know, we're going to have to really look at how we're going to deal with that. Because, again, the work will not stop. But, again, you know, just thanking all of you for everything you've been doing. I also have the state now coming at me. They're trying to charge and hold me accountable for taxes on wages I never made back in 2015. Got a separate notice from the DMV, so they coming at me on some stuff. So they most definitely are trying to find roundabout ways to neutralize what I'm doing out here. But again, as more as you continue to step up, move forward, it really doesn't matter what they do to us as individuals, as long as the collective goal is accomplished. So, you know, salute to all the comrades who still been out here grinding. Also, a few other comrades are still, you know, dealing with different issues. But I'm confident that this will be a successful mission. I'm not sure what the status is with United Oil, as that was gaining a little bit of momentum before I got locked up. But we will most definitely look back into that, and even more so than just the Korean merchants and their shady business practices, whether it be liquor stores, beauty supplies, nail salons, swap meets, whatever. We're looking at all of these outside merchants. We're looking at all of these corporate entities, Starbucks and otherwise. So, you know, it don't stop. You know, I thank y'all, but I will be back out there in a minute, you know, over at Hubert's. So come and holler at me. I will try my best to get through as many messages as possible, respond to all of you. But again, you know, they have had my phone. They're saying it's part of evidence. You know, they got money, debit cards, chargers. They got my hoodie, backpack, other stuff. They're holding this so-called evidence. So, you know, those of you who have been communicating with me, very likely they may have or are reading your messages. But again, don't be alarmed. That's just part of what it is. I'm sure none of you have communicated anything criminal to me. But again, I thank y'all for the support. Black love y'all. Revolutionary love y'all. All power to the people. And, you know, it's time to just do what we got to do. Black power.